TES has a good traction. It sounds like they have enough candidates that you would move away. I mean, well, you have already moved away from TES, but you would then move away from the other providers, other solutions you are using now, and you will go completely with the TVS, and you would think that that's what the industry would do, given the
I think so.
constraint.
But they haven't given us enough details about it. Is it just going to be an advertising service, a free advertising service, which is easy to do because you put your advert on there and teachers search it and work through it? Is it going to be a match service? Because the TES offers a match service now, doesn't it? So you can get certain levels of quality from them. So you can say that actually I want them to manage all the applications online. You can do a shortlisting service from there. The governments haven't said anything other than they'll come out with something that will rival the TES and save schools lots of money. But I suspect it will be nothing other than an advertising website, that we will just lift our adverts onto there. They'll be up there for a period of time, and then you'll apply through the school's routes because they just won't have the capacity or the infrastructure to do anything more than that.
How does the match service work in your experience?
I've not used it, but I know people who do. So effectively, they put the whole recruitment process in the hands of the TES, and the TES come back to them with a shortlist. So they'll say, for example, we want a head of history. This is our job spec. This is our person specification. This is what we're looking for. And as a history teacher, I'll look on the website and I do an automatic application through that process. Now that means I've got to be registered with the TES, and effectively it takes that service off the school. Some schools, if I was looking for something, I would put an advert up there and I would signpost our academy website and do our own application process. I can't imagine that the government will have the infrastructure to be able to do a matching service, that they will only be able to do an advertising service. So that level may just stay with the TES. There might be some people who stay there, and some of the big agencies as well. So often Hayes tend to be really big in education. They run a match service, and they tend to specify sort of senior leader and head teacher levels.
Okay, understood. But then in this case, TES would behave like a headhunter. So they would say, these are the candidates that you might be interested in. Do you want to meet them?
Yeah, I think there's still mileage for the TES to create its own niche.
Got it. And do you know if they charge for this additionally, or this is part of the subscription?
That there are levels of subscription. So your subscription could be just an advertising subscription. You're allowed, 10 adverts a year or 30 adverts a year or unlimited. There are economies of scale by what you buy into. And say, for example, academy chains. I work for I won't tell you which one, but I work for an academy chain, which is large, got 30 schools. We can buy in at an academy rate, and we have really good deals based on what's there. So the most expensive one would be the match service, and you have unlimited adverts, down to we just want to put 2 adverts in a year, and it's going to cost us £2,000. Obviously, being a businessman, you'll know the more you buy off them, and the more you buy off them up front, like a debenture service, the better deal you get.
So in a case when the government comes up with a jobs board, which maybe they will add some functionalities, maybe they will allow you to upload the school brochure and maybe a bit more information promoting the school to the candidates. So assuming that the government comes up with something like this or something similar to NHS jobs, but not a match service, do you think that
I
would
think
be
so.
enough?
Sorry.
Yeah, but do you think that would be enough for the schools to move away from TES, or they would continue to maybe they will use TVS or not, but they will stay with TES?
I think there'll be a mix. There'll be a group of people that say we've always done really well in TES. I'm going to stick with them, and there'll be the schools that are quite financially astute and that have got quite a bit of money behind them. There'll be another group of schools that will keep TES till last. So they might go for their own website first, then the government service, then the TES one, because they'll try all of those things to try and get a cheaper solution before trying the last one, which is more expensive. The other thing is it depends on how close you are to a deadline of recruitment, because if you're recruiting now for September 2019, you've got time on your side. But if you get a resignation right before one of the resignation points, you have to respond quickly. And I think at that point the TES would still have mileage, and I probably would at that